Hello, hello, hello. Whoa, 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 whoa. How's everyone doing tonight? Tonight. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are doing good. I thought we'd do a Gypsy Rose live on the last day of a streamathon. What do you guys think about that? I hope everyone's doing good today. Awesome, wonderful. And I guess for today's conversation, we can say or speculate on what is next for Gypsy. Is she moving in the right direction? Right. So over the past few months, Gypsy has released a book, done numerous podcasts, been on the blogs frequently, had a baby, got divorced. A lot has been going on in her life. What's next? Are there any speculations about what could be next for Gypsy? That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about today. Random says Ken's going to use her up and dump her. You think that? I mean, he has dumped her once before. Right? So it's probable that she can be dumped. You like my hair? Oh my god, my scalp. You can see my scalp. Look at that. Isn't it cool? For once. I was growing it for a long time. For a long time. And now you can just kind of see my scalp there. It's so nice, isn't it? Isn't it nice? I'm probably gonna do something else with it once it like isn't as stiff. Because it's just got twisted, so I want it to like air out, breathe a little bit, but it's really, really good. She did a really good job. She did. And that's why I'm late because I had this going on, that going on, but you know, life happens. But I'm just happy that I've been in this shit, right? On this shit for the past 31 days. That's amazing. Awesome. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about. I was like, hey, we could probably talk about Gypsy because, she's a hot topic, but um I don't really know of anything new going on with Gypsy. What is going on with Gypsy? Like, what's really going on with Gypsy? Hey, Lindsay, that wrench looks good on you. Oh God, that scared me. You said you're gonna miss me not being live every day. I know. I know. I know. I know. I've kind of gotten used to doing it too. Um, but I'll figure something out that works for everyone, you know? A lot of people enjoyed it. And I for sure am going to, still be going live and stuff. Still be covering stories, still be dropping videos. It was just a way for everybody to, catch me live. I have no idea who that is with Gypsy. But I feel like some of the TikToks are really funny. Just make sure we get to see you live once a week. Yeah, most definitely. At least once or twice a week. At least once or twice a week. Let me see what else she got going on here. We've seen this a million times.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is ready to pull up her bootstraps and get a 9 to 5 at McDonald's. Gypsy, who's had her name in the spotlight for months, thinks her time is coming really soon and says she should put up work at Mickey D's because she loves French fries. She confessed to ET that she had wonderful opportunities but didn't see them lasting. Could you see Gypsy working at the fast food chain? Gypsy Rose Blanchard is ready to pull up her bootstraps and get a 9 to 5 at McDonald's. Gypsy, who's had her name in the spotlight for months, thinks her time is coming really soon.
I never heard her once talk about
Chip,
working at
we're going on a
McDonald's.
date night already. Your baby isn't even 6. Mia Blanchard went from this
I am excited to be an aunt.
to this.
Yes, I met Aurora, y'all. I literally seen her 2 days ago. Yes, I met Aurora. I was first one Gypsy called whenever her water broke.
Mia Blanchard's reaction when someone on live asked her, has she met baby Aurora yet? I thought it was a really cold reaction. I know that Mia just had some work done to her face, so you can't really show too much like facial expression. That doesn't excuse the way she reacted. Her words, girl, it just wasn't it. She sounded super annoyed answering it. She was like, yes, I met baby Aurora. Like, I was the first one Gypsy called when her water broke. It's just weird. Like, the vibe, normally like an aunt meeting a baby for the first time. Like, oh my gosh, baby Aurora is so precious, guys. Like, oh my goodness, stop. She's so cute. Gypsy and Ken are so blessed. Like, congratulations to them. She didn't seem like a loving aunt. She seemed so excited during Gypsy Rose's pregnancy, but now her attitude has oddly changed. We're talking about Gypsy Rose's child here, guys. At the end of the day, it's a child. It's a baby, an innocent baby. If Mia and Gypsy are like not getting along right now, it's still an innocent child. I mean, I just would think she would have a much more like loving response. Like, oh, I didn't want to let baby Aurora go. Oh my gosh, she's so precious, guys. I wish you could see her. Blah blah blah. Like, none of that. So if you guys want to stay updated with Gypsy Rose content, hit the follow. I have a bunch of previous videos if you guys want to go ahead and watch. But yes, we talk about Gypsy Rose here. Love to hear everyone's opinion. So please comment below, guys, and tell me what your thoughts are about Mia's reaction. Mia Blanchard went from this
I am excited to be an aunt.
to this.
Yes, I met Aurora, y'all. I literally seen her 2 days ago. Yes, I met Aurora. I was first one Gypsy called whenever her water broke.
Mia Blanchard's reaction when someone on live asked her, has she met baby Aurora yet? I thought it was a really cold reaction. I know that Mia just had some work done to her
All right, let me
face,
see what
so you
else is
can't really
on
show
here.
too
I'm here to talk about the gyp shits. As you know, I've been working on a video, and some of you know that I'm technically not all that amazing at TikTok. I'm better at podcasting and stuff. And when I do a podcast, I want to do a podcast. Like, a good podcast. There's no point just slapping it together. So I thought that I would come on here and explain to you what the podcast is kind of about, because I know that you're kind of like getting edgy. You know that I dropped the T's and then I didn't feel yous in, and now you're getting pissed. So I'm here to tell you, so I'm going to feel yous in just quickly. Okay, so a little bit of a history. My husband and I have 2 children, okay? We did have a third, Ellen. He was in between our 2 girls, and they were all IVF. So we had 14 fresh rounds of IVF, and we used every single egg out of every single collection of every single one of those 14 rounds of IVF. Now, before we did IVF,
I was brought to a breaking point. Me, as I am as an individual, I could never kill someone.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard was released from prison after serving 8 years over a plot to kill her abusive mother.
The day that I entered into prison happened to be one of the best days of my life. Before obviously my newfound freedom, being able to just do something as simple as make friends for the first time. It was definitely more freedom than I had ever felt before in my life, living with my mother.
At what point did you realize that you were not ill?
I think that there were certain things that I knew that I didn't have wrong with me. Like I knew that I could walk. But there was other things that my mother was claiming that I had wrong, such as like she claimed that I had leukemia. So obviously, because you can't see leukemia, I didn't know if I had that or not. I was under quite an extensive amount of medications.
Blanchard pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in 2016. She admitted that she convinced her then boyfriend to stab her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, to death.
What do you think that your life would look like today if your mother were still here?
I don't think there would have been an end in sight for me. I honestly think one of 2 things would have happened. Either she would have eventually got caught, but too late to save me, or I would have been killed from all of the medical malpractices, the surgeries, the medications. All of that takes a toll on a body, especially if you don't need the medications or surgeries.
If your mother were here today, what would you tell her, Gypsy?
I would tell her that I'm sorry and I forgive her. She was not a monster. She was just a sick woman, and she would have needed a lot of mental health care.
You have been out of prison now just for exactly 1 week, and you are married, you are reunited with your family. How has life been for you?
Life has been wonderful so far. I've been out 1 week, and I'm enjoying my new freedom, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds. I was brought to a breaking point. Me, as I am as an individual,
basically-
I could never kill someone.
Gypsy
I haven't
Rose
seen this
Blanchard was
interview.
released from prison after serving 8 years over a plot
I
to
have
kill
not seen
her
that
abusive
interview,
mother.
but
The day
that
that
lets
I
me know
entered
that she
into
feels like,
prison,
hey,
happened to be one of the best days of my life.
had this not happened,
Soft as you
I wouldn't be here. That's what she's saying.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Had this not happened, I wouldn't be here,
I
right?
share my story to be a cautionary tale so that the next person that might be in a situation like mine, they don't take the route that I did.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is finally tasting the freedom she's long dreamed of.
Tell me about the day you stepped out from behind the prison walls.
You don't realize how much you're restricted in prison. I felt like I was in a black and white world and I just stepped into Technicolor. It was amazing.
Her world shifting after spending nearly 9 years in prison for helping plot the murder of her own mother. Gypsy, a victim of her mother's psychological disorder, commonly known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, in which parents seek sympathy through the exaggerated or made-up illnesses of their children. Since childhood, Gypsy's mother, Dee Dee, portrayed her daughter as frail, disabled, suffering from multiple illnesses, including leukemia and muscular dystrophy, subjecting the girl to life in a wheelchair, a feeding tube, and unnecessary surgeries, even having some of her teeth removed. It was all a
Oh, we've
lie.
heard all this
When you look
all
at these
before.
my name.
I don't know. That's a big claim. Those are some big claims from these older interviews. You know? Uh, 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 I don't know. That's a huge claim to make, right? And if this were the case, right? If that were the case, what they're saying about, her defrauding everyone and Gypsy having no control over it and everything, if that were the case, they didn't find that out after 24 years. Nobody saw that in 24 years. It took that to happen for someone to see that. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I feel like it would have been picked up on. That behavior by Dee Dee that they're alleging by Dee Dee would have been picked up on. It wouldn't have been going on for since the time she was born to 24 without no one just catching it. It wouldn't. That doesn't make sense to me. Do I feel like it was somewhere? Do I feel like she went through trauma? Yes, but like nothing is going to make what she did okay. Yeah, there's no news with Gypsy. All there is first date night and she had her baby. There's no real big news. I mean, there's other stories that there's a lot of news around, a lot of coverage around. There's not a huge amount of stories here with her. Her first anniversary from prison was not really much, And when there's not much with her, I'm like, eh. But the story that people told, I feel like the story that the media told, the media did a good job of making everyone believe that, hey, like, it's crazy. The media did a great job of making everyone believe that Dee Dee was the ultimate supervillain, right? And I just do not think that's right. How do I go to my community tab? I need to go to my community tab. Let's see. Let's see what you guys commented here. We could talk about the Fancy Macelli happenings. What's happening with Fancy Macelli? Neziah Harris. We talked about her a little bit. The good old days. I'm pretty much Jipper. Have y'all seen anything about Megan Boswell? What's going on with Fancy Macelli? I mean, she's really entertaining. I'll give you that much. Fancy's a really entertaining character, however you want to put that. She's entertaining. But I don't know what's been going on with her. She's got every content creator under the sun. What the heck happened? Fancy. Let's see what happened. Because I have no clue what happened, right? Let me see. I saw the one when her and Rod were talking. But I don't know. I haven't kept my foot on it, This is her channel right here. Bobby Godejohn, that's Nick's dad. Let's see. I'm interested.
People gives you wings. Now taxes
And Nick's
is getting the TurboTax app.
Let's see what they
And
were
filing
talking
your
about.
taxes yourself,
Thanks for being
100%
kind of
free.
like fun, guys.
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And I was just made aware of something that people put out tonight, and they tried to make it look a certain way. But the thing is it is not what they're trying to make it look like. And this is generally what they do. They like to put out screenshots of conversations from years ago and pretend that they're new by erasing the timestamps. Well, you got it wrong once again, folks. So if you pause to read, you can read all of this, and that's fine. You guys can read it. Other people have put it out.
Okay, this is Nick's dad, Bobby Godejohn. The truth about Dawn's contract. Okay, fill me in random. I'm going to read this message. I believe it's from Fancy to Bobby Godejohn, which is Nick's dad. Hi, Bobby. I just wanted to reach out to you and say how sorry I am, how Nick's case ended up something. We really had hoped that something would have blank him and help with a better future. I spoke with you regarding the project that we are working on. We're still, why is she in the middle of it? Fancy move. Like, yeah, thank you. Get out the way. Woo, but no. Hi, Bobby. I wanted to reach out to you and say I'm so sorry how Nick's case ended up resolving. We had really hoped for something that would have still offered him help in a better future. I spoke with you regarding the project we are working on. We are still blank. You would be in participating as blank, wanting a true and accurate portrayal of everything that happened. And we really do want Nick's side represented properly. We are not able to offer $100K, but we are open to discussing some form of payment for the life rights, even though legally we don't have to garner them. Is there a time we might be able to discuss this in further detail? The truth about Dawn's contract. Ooh. It's on here? Ooh. Let me see what this is.
That's fine. You guys can read it. Other people have put it out. I'll put it out on a different medium as well. But do you notice that this is from January 30th of 2019? So this is the one that they started with, saying that I sent this 2 days ago. So that's from 2019, and it begins out this way. And if you look at the people who put it out, that's the exact beginning of the email that they tried to say I sent 2 days ago. First of all, it's not an email. It's a text message also, but it was sent on January 30th of 2019. Now, so this is actually from August. That first one above it is August. This one is from September 2024, where he had been in my live many times, and I thanked him for being in my life. Now, on my birthday, did I message him? I sure did, to warn him, because what I had been informed of is that Bree was going to make this horrible freaking thing about how Nick and his emails between him and Dawn and all of that, and they were trying to make it look like it was something that it wasn't.
Wait. Here we go. I think Dawn's contract, Dawn's emails. Okay, guys, I am not up to date on the people behind the scenes with this. I'm going to be completely honest. If it's not the main immediate families of the people involved in the case, I don't know. Who is Dawn? Just tell me who Dawn is. I know Fancy. I know some of the bigger content creators on this. But who is Dawn? Who the hell is Dawn? Okay, so she speaks on Dawn here. She says, Bree has been asked, this is on Tuesday, Bree has been asked by Krusty to put out an anti-Nick video. It's going to be the emails he and Dawn exchanged. They want to make the Supreme Court see it, him being dangerous. I got a bunch of things wrong, Bobby Green, when I started something I've worked on for years to remedy. I promised this last year I would do anything I can to help Nick. They want to prove I sent that woman in, and we know I did not. Dawn is Nick's girlfriend from prison. Ooh.
Trying to warn Bobby. So there you go. So more. And what they're trying to drive home again is that I sent in. Dawn to Nicholas, and they are trying to prove this, which last night on a live I proved was not true. Or my birthday. I proved that wasn't true by the timeline. But again, the sewing circle just loves to run their mouths about things that are not true. So that's what I sent Bobby. Pause to read. And there's the rest. And then I even came back and said, apparently Bree has denied this. And right now I'm inclined to believe her, but I have the live of where I heard it. So there you have it. Short and simple, guys. Don't believe everything that you see on someone else's live, because they like to do things like hide the actual dates.
I'm
Kind of
confused.
like Nina did.
I'm
when
not gonna
she
even lie to y'all. I don't know what the hell is going on. The truth about Dawn's contract. Okay.
This
Let's see if
President's
we can
Day,
figure
feel
out.
the freedom
I
to
don't know
style
what's
your
going
space
on.
with modular
Like,
sectionals
come on
starting at
now.
$699.98.
My thing is, I know Fancy was close with Gypsy, Christy, and the family initially, but didn't they stop talking to each other, stop effing with each other? So why is she now trying to help Nick? I never really understood that. If you were close, like allies with one party in this, how come when you fall out with that party, you automatically start trying to help the other party? It's like, are you trying to help the other party because of your disdain for the party that you were working with beforehand? I mean, it's just kind of weird. Like you were right. It seems like she just jumped ship to the other side, because it's like at first you were helping them, you were aiding in PR and all these things, just, and then as soon as it was done with you, you're like all of a sudden trying to help, quote unquote, help Nick. I don't know, like, what can we do to help Nick? What can we do to help Nick? If you want to help Nick, you can write him a letter, you can send him some commissary, you can try to keep his morale up that way. But as far as for getting laws appealed or overturned or sentences reduced, that's going to go through lawyers. That's going to go through the court process. We people, there's not much we people can do for getting his sentence overturned or getting this or that done, right? I'm not saying it's impossible, but he needs legal help if he wants to do those things, right?
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Vibes Network. And this is part 2. I didn't even think about addressing this in the first one because it was too long and I couldn't get it out. The only other thing I want to talk about is this contract that is going around between me and Don Boker. It's been out there a million times. Yes, did I offer to pay Don Boker for the information that she was providing us? You bet your ass I did, because that's what productions do. They pay people for information. I'm not sure if you know that or not. The Godejohns got paid. The Petrie family's gotten paid. The Blanchard family have all gotten paid. I offered Dawn a payout for bringing that stuff to me, not because she was doing it, but because she brought it to me. And yes, in the contract, just like in Christy Rod and Gypsy's contract, it states that they are obligated to help me to prove their story, to find anyone who can corroborate, to find others to tell stories. That's what you do. And that's a sign of release of.
Wait, where's her what was the production? I'm so confused. Like when I think about productions, I'm thinking about like HBO, Lifetime, CNN, Cinemax. Like those are productions on a set. Like what productions? And what did she pay this woman for? Dawn for notes, letters from prison? She paid that woman for that? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't get it.
Information. That's what she got. She was offered a producer's role on the documentary portion of what she was doing, because guess what? Whether you like it or not, Boker had information that no one else had. So be thankful that she has that information so that we can better understand what happened here.
Okay.
Do you guys just not understand how business or the entertainment industry works at all? Because that's what I'm seeing here. A lack of understanding of how things actually work and the timeline within which it happened. There's nothing more to see here, folks. They can scream from the top of the rafters, from the mountaintops, about how fancy is this horrible, awful person. But in the end, I didn't do anything to anyone specifically to hurt them. I didn't bully people. I didn't lie about people on purpose. I didn't create stories that were non-existent. In fact, anything personal about these people, I kept private. So there's that. Okay, that's the only thing I needed to add on, was to address the contract. Yep, she had one. Yep, we offered to pay her. Yep, it was after she came with the emails to us. Yep, we were hoping that she would be able to get us more information. Yep, 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 and yep. Again, I said what I said, and I meant what I said when I said it. My thoughts and feelings today are vastly different. And if you've never in your entire life about anything ever done something, thought something, said something, and had the misinformation, then you should understand. And if you lie and say that you didn't, well, you're a liar too. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good one. From the Good Wives, serving up true crime. One dish at a time. Bye, guys. Mwah.
Okay.
56 years ago, we conquered the moon. Now Verizon is conquering.
Okay, I'm starting to understand, but I need blanks filled in, because what the is going on? Okay, so she paid Nick's ex-girlfriend money for emails, documentation about Nick, right? When she was working for Gypsy. I'm trying to understand why are people upset about this? If she was working, why are people upset about this? I'm trying to figure out, because if she was working for the Blanchards, right? That's what it's going to be. That's what's going to be in her best interest to do. I don't know if she's trying to not take responsibility for doing it. Like if she was found out about doing it, but so do you think, are we saying that, like, could it be said that, I'm not going to say we, I'm going to say, and then I'll move on from that. Could it be said that her actions with regards to this case could have tainted a jury pool? Could that be said? If that could be said, then yeah, it's definitely a conversation. That's definitely a conversation. If you're tainting the jury pool, different things like that, you know, but I also have to say, she didn't want him to see the light of day because she felt as if that was going to give Gypsy the best chance of a release, the best chance of reduced time, slap on the wrist, if Nick was public enemy number one, right? That's what she was looking to prove, that Nick was public enemy number one. Right. Yeah, of course. Yep, random. Yep, I get it now. I get it. So she was working with people close to Nick, garnering information, spreading information, whether it be true or not. And from there, today, she doesn't want anything to do with any of them. Like, I saw it, right? there's no way in my humble, I'm being humble here, there's no way in my opinion you could text me saying I want to help your son or whomever after you've set up a smear campaign against them. That's what I call a smear campaign. Politicians do it all the time. Dig up shit about him, see what he's done. Oh, he has a charge for, he had a DUI back when he was 23. Let's run that. He had, he hit his wife once, I think. Let's run that. Do we have any information? Can we get to the wife? Can we pay her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a smear campaign, right? But in this case, it's dealing with someone's life, right? Um, which would be Nick's life, Nick's fate, Gypsy's life, Gypsy's fate. Dee Dee's, sadly already gone, right? So it's most definitely a smear campaign. It was him against us. And I feel like it's really rough to put it as a him against us situation when Gypsy painted it as I needed him to break free from this monster. If Gypsy needed Nicholas to break free from the quote unquote monster she was held captive by, wouldn't he be seen to her team as more in a better light than he was? Like, he didn't just do this on his own. The way that her PR team is painting it is that Nick was already severely disturbed and he basically took over and wanted to do this. Gypsy just merely suggested it. She even said it in the book. Then I made the suggestion. Then I made the suggestion. She couldn't even say it in the book. She said, then I made the suggestion, like she was asking for 2 cups of, like she was asking for 2 creamers and 3 sugars. She said she made the suggestion when referring to it, right? They really try to pull back on her true involvement in it and put it on Nicholas as if Nicholas was the mastermind behind the things, saying in the book that Nicholas wanted to do all these things to her mother. Allegedly, Nicholas wanted to do this, Nicholas wanted to do that. But how did he get to that point? How did Nicholas get to the point where allegedly he was wanting to do, I can't even say it on here, right? To abuse your mother in several ways prior to this horrendous attack. How did he get to that point? Because you made the suggestion, right? So rolling back to the original point, I feel like when she was fighting for, to try to stay out of prison or whatever the case may be, or get reduced time, whatever, it was the job of whoever was in her corner, her lawyer, Christy, whoever was in her corner, to make her defense as strong as possible, right? And that included making him look bad, even though he and Gypsy were definitely in sync with what they were doing. He and Gypsy were in sync with what they were doing. These people need not forget he and Gypsy were in sync with what they were doing. Gypsy Rose was in sync with Nicholas Godejohn. This is not just something that he just woke up and said, oh, this is what I want to do. We're doing it. They were on one fucking accord. Understand that Gypsy Rose and Nicholas Godejohn were on one accord, right? So the only thing I find, I'm going to expect, like, I can't be mad because someone in Gypsy Rose's corner is trying to slander Nick. But the people who know that they were on one accord. So it's not going to fool me. It might fool somebody else if you pull up these text messages. It might fool somebody else if you pull up all of these things, right? But it's not going to fool me because I know they were on one accord. I know that, right? Some people might not know that. The jury might not know that, right? But You have to take these things into consideration. Am I mad at Fancy? Do I think it's deplorable what she did? Eh. I mean, she was on Gypsy's side, so I mean, eh. They're going to do things like that, right? To try to, but the fact that she's jumping on Nick's side, that's not a good look. But I mean, they're gonna do things like that, you know? It's not okay, it's not good, but I mean, I feel like it's in the sake of defense, pointing the finger. It was him. No, it was her. No, it was him. That type of thing. Random, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see what else.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now, wish me luck, Grammarly has again been a
Guess who
lifesaver
got
with my
one?
application and helping me
Tom
write my
got
personal
one.
statement and CV.
Thank you.
Grammarly is your digital writing
Thank
assistant.
you.
It's an all-in-one tool that improves your productivity,
heart
triple checks your work, and saves you time when
you.
working on multiple assignments. Even the free features
Thank
are
you.
incredible. You can set your own writing goals, track your word count, and even find new words to replace your overused.
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network. And yes, I'm aware of the rhetoric that is going around with certain creators.
What's the rhetoric? Tell me.
I don't understand why I need to explain this to everyone yet again when I did so several times in 2024. We had lives, long lives, explaining this. I have explained it all over and over and over again, and I do not feel I owe anyone any further explanation.
Okay, we'll get to that. But honestly, when I met Fancy on the internet, I've never met her in person, but like when I met her, she was going down Gypsy Rose's throat. She was airing all the dirty laundry about Gypsy, right? So maybe that's just who she is and how she moves, you know? She got all that dirt. She got all that dirt on Gypsy. She got all that dirt on Gypsy and she leaked it. She got all that dirt on Gypsy and she leaked it. If you want to be honest, if we're going to be fair, if we're going to be completely honestly fair, right? Fancy cracked that first crack in the Munchausen by proxy defense and people kind of waking up. People were asleep to what was going on with Gypsy Rose. She made that first crack where people was like listening and like, huh? She what? She's not sick. Wait, what? She knew she was sick. She has a micro deletion. I feel like that came from her. I feel like I heard it here first. I feel like that's just her, right? You got some people that, not saying this right, but you got some people that will gather information, act like they're your friend, talk to you, show you a good time, all of this. But the minute, the second, the moment y'all are no longer cool, they are going to air everything they know about you. They are going to air everything they know about you. There's people like that. There's people like that. There's people out there that literally, if you cross them, they're going to air things about you. And I feel like Fancy might be one of those creators, right? It's fine. It's that's how some people are. If you've seen them do it to others in the past and you still want to trust them with your information, then hey. I mean, but when we look at this Gypsy Rose Blanchard verse on YouTube as a whole, Fancy is a major player, right? A major player for people to even start looking at this, questioning this, bringing awareness to it, right? So you have your ups and you have your downs, just like with any creator. You have your ups and you have your downs. I don't know. I'm going to get more information about this letter. Yeah, they're suing her. I heard they were suing Fancy because Fancy released Gypsy's medical records. Medical records? Oh my goodness. I heard about that. I'm like, you can't do that. Becca Scoops is as well. Becca Scoops is up there when it comes to facts, when it comes to evidence, when it comes to all those things. Yes, I do truthfully agree. Two totally different approaches. I feel like Becca Scoops' approach is way more educational, analytical, to the point, right? Fancy, it might be a little rough around the edges, but she has jewels inside of that, right? So, I don't really know. We're going to play this. I'm going to go grab something really quick, but I'm going to play this really quick so you guys can listen and you guys can tell me what the hell happened.
The conversation with Bobby that you are pulling from all stems from 2019. I have had very little interaction with him since then, except for when he started coming into my live broadcasts here on TikTok. I began trying to talk with him one more time. Now, the group that you are pulling from, that these messages were posted years ago, so you're not finding anything new, folks. This is not new. That group was directly connected with Boker and Natasha.
Introducing Speechalo, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm one of the 30 AI voices from Speechalo. You listened to this video until now and you probably couldn't tell I'm not a real human voice. That's because I understand exactly what each phrase is saying, and I know how to put inflections in my voice, just like a real human would do. I was coded in that way that my neurolinguistic engine will analyze the phrases, and I'll understand when I'm enumerating something, when I have to emphasize a word, or I need to take a deep breath. But you don't have to worry about any of these things. With Speechalo you can generate as many voiceovers as you want with only 3 clicks. Yes, you heard me right. Only 3 clicks. Click number 1. Just paste the text you want to be transformed into speech in our online text editor. Click number 2. Choose the language and voice that you want to use. We offer male, female, and even kids' voices. And finally, click number 3. Click on generate and in 5 seconds your voiceover is ready to be downloaded. How cool is that? And you didn't have to pay a single cent. And didn't have to wait a week to receive your voiceover. We offer voices that are perfect for training videos, voices that are perfect for presentation videos, and voices that sound like Hollywood movie trailers, and even kid voices that sound joyful and innocent. All our voices have elements that make a voice sound real, and include all the voice expressions needed to make people more engaged in your content and make it sound professional. Actually, 98% of the people hearing a voiceover generated with Speechalo can't tell it's not a real human voice. This video is created with a voice from Speechalo, and you are still here, watching and listening to what I have to say. That proves my point. So here is the deal. For a limited time, you're getting the deal of a lifetime. Normally we will sell Speechalo as a monthly recurring service. But today, because you are in the first 1,000 people to join, you get the special founders offer. You can get Speechalo for a ridiculously low one-time fee and no monthly recurrings. The price you see on this page is the lowest it'll ever be. In fact, the price increases with each minute that passes. If you want to lock in the price, don't refresh the page, don't bookmark it for later, just go ahead and click the Buy Now button below, right now. Once the launch ends, the price shoots way up. But, honestly, even at $500 that's an incredible deal for the power you're being granted. You will make that amount back in no time. Outsourcing the creation of a single voiceover will cost you more than the price of this offering. And you will have to wait after the freelancers, not to mention that you could just don't like the end result. And you will waste hundreds of dollars in vain. I'm 100% confident that you will love Speechalo. In fact, I'm so confident that I'm going to make this a complete risk-free decision for you. If you create a voiceover using speech alone and you don't like it, I will refund all your money and let you keep the voiceover that you created. So, now that you have no risk, you also have no excuses. Go ahead and click the Buy Now button below and profit from the one-time payment offer and the huge discount that we have.
And the rest of the bullshit that was going on in Facebook at the time. And at the time, to try and, hurt me, shut me up, all of that stuff, they tried to put this stuff out. Why? Because when Bobby asked me for $100,000 and then raised it to $500,000 and then raised it to $1 million, being funny and cute, while I was just trying to gather information, I dropped those messages between me and him back in 2019. That group got angry, and they then had Dawn back over there again, and she was handing out information from inside our private conversations. Now, I don't care. I will not sit here and apologize for things that I said in 2019 when I did not have the information that I have today. I'm not that person. You are never going to scare me with a screenshot. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Yeah, I said that shit when I said that shit, and I meant that shit when I said that shit. Does it mean that I still feel the same way today? No, it does not. I went back to school. I learned more about autism. I understood now when Dawn came into the picture and who she was working with and how Christy and Gypsy were already in contact with her. So if you want to blame anyone for Dawn Boker being inside Nicholas's inbox, blame Dawn Boker and Christy and Gypsy, who helped her. Now, I will be putting out the Bobby conversation today in our Patreon. No, it won't be on the free level. I'm not of the opinion to continue to show you my work, my investigation, and everything I've done over the last 8 years for free. It's not about money. It's about the fact that I did a job that no one else did, and I deserve to get paid for my work. So if you want to see my work, pay for it. You don't, then you won't have that information unless somebody else decides to rip it off and stick it out there. So that's fine with me. I've never complained about that. If my shit is all over Reddit, has been for years and years, with no credit given, and I could care less. I literally could care less. It's not about that. But if you want to know about my interactions with the Blanchard family, the Petrie family, the Godejohn family, you'll be reading that in my books and in my documentary. And that's the only place I'm going to talk about those things right now. The only conversations I'm having about Gypsy Rose, Nicholas, Dee Dee, or any of the rest of them right now pertains to the case, especially the lies that are inside her book. And I think it's really interesting that soon as she gave me a key into the castle to understand everything, that everyone somehow just banded together to hate on me for doing my job. Yes, was I trying to find out information about Nicholas? Of course I was. I was trying to make a show. So I don't understand what you're all up in a rumple about. But my thoughts and feelings about 20.
Okay. I don't really know what's going on with her. I understand both sides, right? And I really truly mean that, right? From it's hard to say, like from a work perspective, right? If she's on their side defending Gypsy, then she's on their side, right? And that was a while ago before she allegedly changed her mind on things, right? I think for me, where I run into an issue with it is the fact that where I run into an issue with it is the fact that now all of a sudden you want to help Nick. You shouldn't even be on that. You shouldn't even be on that after what you. I haven't seen the text messages. I saw what she showed, right? What you said or what you were alleged of doing, paying for, trying to get information about Nick. You shouldn't be on the other side of the fence, right? Trying to say, I want to help him. I really desperately want to help him, because it makes you seem disingenuous. Like, who are you really trying to help? Like, you could have a change of heart. I understand that happens, but that big of one that's a big change of heart. That's a huge change. She doesn't. It's whatever is popular at the point for clout. So you're saying, random saying, like, it doesn't matter to her who's in the right or who's in the wrong. Whatever way the crowd is going, she's going to follow the crowd on certain things, right? Which could be true, like bandwagoning. I could see that being true too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, everybody's over here. Or everybody's looking into this, or everyone's looking into the autopsy report. Let me look into that. Everyone's looking into. I don't really know. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm biased. I'm not biased. Like I said, every creator is a little bit different. I'm not biased. I have my thoughts about the case. I have my place where I stand with it. And I don't think, if anything, I may have changed my mind a little tiny bit, right? Or a little bit. But it hasn't done a full, it hasn't completely changed. If anything, I've moved like this a little bit, right? It hasn't changed that wildly or drastically. I understand where they're coming from with saying what they're saying, but at the end of the day, I think she's going to continue to do what she's doing, right?
2019, 2017, and 2018, and how I felt about Nicholas until last year 2023, when I went back to school to understand him better. And I reread the emails and realized what they were.
We're here in Hollywood
Wait,
at the LA Film
she went
School
back to
campus.
school to.
Let me show you our pro spaces where our students work.
She went back to school to
I
understand Nicholas
don't feel
better?
like I need to justify any of that, because it's not how I feel today. And I am trying to do the right thing today. I would love to look back through your guys' past and see that you've never, ever made any mistakes ever, or gotten anything wrong, or needed to be more educated on something. If you had been around back in 2017 through 2019, when all this was going down on Facebook, then you would know the story. You would know the truth of what all this was. But because you weren't around and you're getting secondhand information from people who just don't like me, you have no clue what the context of any of it is. That's the end. You don't know what happened back then. Very few people who are still around do. And guess what? All those people that know me and know what happened back then and are out here talking about it still, they all talk to me. They're all in my lives every day. You can see them. They comment and they know the truth. That's it. I have everything. I will tell you it all. I will show it all. I will tell myself a million freaking times in this story. Because yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I got things wrong. The only difference between me and anyone else is that I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm not afraid to say that I got stuff wrong and correct those things. Other people who get things wrong, they don't do that. They just get it wrong and they don't care. Because for them, it's about clicks and views. For me, again, it's always been about truth. So that's all I'm going to say. I shall not be addressing it any further. If you would like to see the conversation between me and Bobby, head up our Patreon. If you would like to know more about my interviews and relationships and all of that with Bobby, the Godejohn family, Nicholas, you can look at our YouTube channel and see lots of it there. We've explained all about it, steps along the way. You can see the lives I did last year where I explained my thought process and my shift in information and ideas about this. This is all you've got, huh? Shit from 2019. Good try. It's not going to stop me. I don't really care what the public opinion of me is. I don't. It has no relevance or bearing on my life. It is not real. It's based on nothing. And I'm not going to let it keep me from doing what I said I'm going to do. Okay. My mission in all of this, from day one to now, has never changed. Okay. Truth. And that's what I'm after. Did I go about it the right way all the time?
Okay.
No. No, I didn't. But I sure as shit am now. And I know the things that I know now. I have tons of extra proof. And I would hope that just like you guys have some compassion for Nicholas, you would have some compassion for me. I was misguided about Nicholas. I was misinformed and undereducated, and I made mistakes. I've apologized for those mistakes, and I've done everything I can to correct those mistakes. No one can do anything else. The only thing I can do now is give you the truth that we have through the evidence and facts, because that's what really matters. The rest of this, it's not real and it doesn't matter. Truthfully, I can only share my experiences, my knowledge, my evidence, the facts that I've found, and the research that I've done. Anything past that, I don't owe you an explanation. Have a good one from the Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time.
Okay. What did she do? I don't know the text messages that came out, but apparently she was garnering information about Nick, trying to make him seem like he was the mastermind. In my opinion, this is what I'm getting from what's going on. Getting text messages from Nick's girlfriend while he was in prison. Getting information about Nick to make it seem like Nick was the mastermind, to lessen Gypsy's responsibility and all of this. We know now very well that Nick and Gypsy were on one accord. We know that very well. We know that. I think we've known that from the beginning. They were on one accord, right? So allegedly, Gypsy Rose's team was trying to slander Nick and paint him out to be this huge monster. And here we are today. A lot of people are up in arms about that because apparently she told Ken she had some things that could really make sure that Nick never saw the light of day, et cetera, and paid Nick's girlfriend for information, et cetera, right? I haven't seen the actual text messages. I don't know if they're on her Patreon. I don't know if she has conversations. She has a whole Patreon out there. But I haven't seen the text. I haven't seen those emails that they're referring to. But apparently it has to be pretty serious because people are up in arms and upset about it. How you doing, Shauna? How you doing? Yep. Yeah, it's paid. She said you have to pay for it. It's not free. That's what she did. Please don't take me as being aggressive. No, I don't take anything as aggressive. Honestly, I know this is a passionate topic, right? So I understand people have differing views. We're all going to have differing views on this. We're not going to be on the same page every single time, every single line. I can respect a difference in opinion. I studied political science in college, so we did a lot of arguing. We did a very much lot of arguing in class every day. Um, and some people were off the off their hinges. The rumor was Bree was going to make a video about it, but she denied it. She was going to make a video about these alleged things that they found out about Nick. This, I don't understand what Bree and the PR team is trying to do. Because this does not negate the facts. It does not matter what kind of video you make about Nick, what kind of anti-video you make about Nick. It does not negate the facts that Gypsy Rose was present. Gypsy Rose was in tandem with this happening, right? She was a key part of that happening. It doesn't matter. You can make a million anti-Nick videos. It doesn't erase the fact that she's in there. They're locked in. They were locked in on that. That was a decision made by the both of them in tandem. He wouldn't have done it without her. She wouldn't have done it without him. That's case closed, right? There was no forcing of anybody to do anything, right? Okay. Let's see. Boker, don't even try. Wait, who's this?
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, for starters,
Oh my God. Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and I have one more thing I need to bring up. So, by the way,
she said she was done talking about it. The next video, she's like, wait. I'm guilty of that. Because sometimes I'll be like, I'm done talking about this, and then you just got to get it off your chest. You got to get that out your system. Like, bro, I feel like this is a very, how do I put it? Make sure to like the stream. Fancy isn't even on Gypsy's radar anymore. No, she's not. It shifted, right? The content creators that cover Gypsy in such a magnificent way, right? Her focus shifted, right? To a select few content creators that clock her T, that clock her, right? Becca Scoops, Flawless Nina, Radiant Brit. Radiant Brit does not take her foot off of Gypsy's neck at all. So she's honing in on the people who have big followings on YouTube, garner an audience, and their audiences are passionate people, and they're making a lot of sense and a lot of valid points. Even me, even little old Lindsay Unfiltered. I'm sure I've come across her screen a couple of times because it's kind of shifting away from the older, not old like she's old, decrepit, not like that. I'm just kidding. It's shifting away from like the 2019 content creators, and it's still going on. There was I feel like there was a resurgence of content creators that came out when Gypsy got out of jail. When she got out of prison, there was more content creators that came out, and they garnered a large audience because Gypsy Rose is a hot topic. Gypsy Rose is trending. She's a niche, right? So I definitely feel like those people who focused on the post-prison, like the post-prison Gypsy Rose coverage, have a lot. They're on her radar. Because everything she does, the content creators that cover post-release, everything she does, they're right there. like to me, I feel like I give her a little bit of grace, right? There's certain things I'm not gonna do. There's certain things I'm not gonna talk about. There's certain things I'm just not going to do publicly, online, whatever the case may be, right? It's just not gonna be me, right? But with that being said, there are people that are going to go there. There are people that are going to go there for the story. There are people that are going to go there for the how sensational the moment might be, right? So she can't step a toe out of her door without somebody on her ass. And it's not fancy. It's not. It's not fancy. There's a new post-release section of content creators that are on her ass. Do you hear me? So that's who I feel like is on her radar. Those cuz she has to look around like, "Oh, wow, I can't do anything. Anything I post, anything I say, shit. Any phone conversation I have, they will get it." So I think, she's not really worried about fancy at this point. You know, if anything, fancy's a blast from the past. There's lawsuits, there's things going on, but the people that I feel like she's worried about random are the people covering her post release. The people on that ass every day looking for something to cover on her, because I feel like that's why she went dark when it came to social media. She went dark because she knows every time she posts, there will be coverage. There will be coverage and analyzation of it, right? There will be coverage every single time. So Fancy's more analytical. She deals with more of the shift started after book signing and Dee's vigil. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like for me, um, there was a huge influx. I can say it from my perspective because I watched this kind of go down too. There was a huge support for Gypsy Rose on Instagram, on TikTok, right? Facebook and YouTube were always like, but they weren't saying much at first, right? But there was a huge support for her on TikTok and Instagram when she first got out. So I'm sitting there just watching, seeing what's going on. And people were like, okay, congratulations, yada, yada, yada. We didn't really look too much into it, right? But I feel like it's when Gypsy Rose started doing those interviews, that's what pissed people off. And that's what made people start looking into her. When she made the interview saying the D is fire with Ryan, she did the interview saying something about, I didn't do the actual, unaliving. He did it. That's why he's in jail. That's when people started looking at her like, okay, you just got out 5 hours ago and you're talking about you didn't do the actual unaliving and you're slandering his name. So we went to the internet and looked up Gypsy Rose Blanchard 2014 case. And we started reading. And we started recording, and here we are on our own little section of the internet, right? I think also went dark because Melissa talked with her. Then Gypsy posted about when the cameras are blah, blah, ending it with a smile. Yeah. Yeah. It's in her best interest. I feel like it's in her best interest, in my humble opinion. I mean, I'm not a publicist. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an entertainment specialist, any of that. I'm just a regular human, right? It's in her best interest to probably stay dark, right? But she's not, I don't think she can do that. It's not feasible, right? When you're earning as much as she's earning on the internet, let's be honest, it's not feasible to cut off that large amount of revenue, as Ryan puts it, off. You just had a baby, you're about to come off parole, things need to be taken care of. I know she has money, right? I don't know how much, I don't know, but I know she's all right. She's not struggling, right? But that's a great way to make quick, easy revenue, because for every person who does not like Gypsy Rose, realistically, for every person that does not like Gypsy Rose, for every person who tries to get the truth out about her story with Nicholas, there is a person who will send Gypsy Rose $10 a day. Honestly. And she knows that, right? So, I feel like it's still very divided. Like 50-50 with people's attitudes towards her release and even being released, right? So I feel like there's a lot going on. What's to come next for her? I honestly don't know. Hopefully she'll just fade. Oh no, she has a show. She has her Lifetime show coming out. So she's not, there's gonna be, you're gonna be seeing more of her. It's not like she's gonna just fade into the background. You can't go dark on social media when you got Lifetime documentaries, you got this, you got that, you got books, there's no way to go dark at this particular time, You're gonna get
It's been brought to my attention that Boker is now running around again. Here's the deal. Do you know what Boker said to me? Boker told me recently, first of all, she told me she wasn't involved in any of this. She's not involved in any of it. She doesn't want to be involved in any of it. And she's got a wonderful life now. And she would like to just continue to live that wonderful life that I know she's absolutely lying about. But hey, I don't care. Who cares? I don't care about her life, nor do I care about her. But now she's decided that she's going to now have a lawyer who says that I can no longer release these private emails between her and Nicholas. Wonder why that is. Could it be because you lied, sweetheart? Could it be because you didn't give all of them to me? Could it be because you've been part of all this shit the whole damn time? Could it be that you're one of Natasha's little friends now and went flipping over to her and to Christy Blanchard when you left, despite the fact that you came back to me to tell me that they tried to frame you for a bunch of shit? By the way, timestamps don't lie. I know what you did or did not take out of my drive. Just so you know, I've never pushed the subject on, but don't come after me. You don't want this bullshit, because I will put out every fucking conversation I've ever had about you or with you. I'm not afraid of what I said, folks. I'm not afraid of the things I said when I said them, because like I said before, at the time, based on the information and knowledge that I had, I meant those things. Today, do I feel the same way I did before? Actually, yes. The only thing that I've ever cared about is the truth. So, Dawn, if you'd like to come out and run your mouth and lie like you have so many times before with receipts that we can prove, if you'd like to come out and talk about the fact of how you fleeced my friend Diane and Diana for tons of money, that you lied about your own mother, your brother,
like my
anything and
hair?
everything,
I just
you
got
can
it
do and
done
use your
today.
own kids to do so. Would you like me to put out the information of where you yourself are the one who called Natasha's CPS on her? No, I didn't do that.
I have a middle part.
You did that. And you know damn well what you
down
did.
the middle.
So try me, Boker.
Thank
Come
you.
on. Come out with the rest of the nobodies.
I
so
told
that
you
we
I was
can
going to get it
prove
done.
what your intentions were this whole time.
I finally stopped
I guarantee
trying
you, sweetheart,
to do it
they
myself
weren't because you just
and
felt
paid
so
someone
bad
who
for
knew what they were
me.
doing.
No, baby. You wanted your 15 minutes. And when you didn't get it, what did you do? You ran and cried. And you had MJ Pack and Victoria Lyell wrote a false fucking conversation and letter for you talking about how I forced you to do all these things. Well, guess what? Victoria sent me the original messages that you sent her for Megan to write that shitty ass fucking lying letter. And they don't look good for you, honey. I've been working on stuff, putting it all together. Yeah, things are going to come out. Yeah, I'm going to get called out for saying shit. I don't care. My goal has been truth. I don't have a dog in this fight with the Beatree family. I don't care. I don't have a dog in this fight for the Godejohn family or the Blanchard family or Gypsy Rose or Nick. All I've ever cared about and will continue to care about is the truth of why this happened and what happened afterwards with Christy and Gypsy manipulating along.
Why does the truth matter so much to this woman? Like, damn, okay. There are tons of police departments looking for detectives. There are tons of police departments in dire need of detectives. I don't get it. Like, there's two sides to the story, and there's the truth. there's two sides, and then there's the truth. You can go like, okay, I understand the rifling through the files and wanting to get to the bottom of something, but the only person, I will stick to this. I've said it before in my videos, and I'll stick to it. The only person who knows what truly happened is Gypsy and Dee Dee. And Dee Dee is no longer here. Nick doesn't even know what truly happened because of the history between Dee Dee and Gypsy. The only person on this earth that knows the story, the real story, is Gypsy. Right? We can try to piece it together, put it together, and we can get a pretty good sense of what happened there. But if you're talking about the cold, hard truth, the closest you're gonna get to that is Gypsy being transparent and saying what happened, right? From beginning to end, what happened. Because the book was like a cliff notes. Like, I was reading the book and I'm like, Trixie Lane, I have to look her up. I'm gonna look her up for sure. I'm gonna write her down. Because I'm always looking for people to watch. I haven't seen all of Becca Scoop's videos, but I love her videos. They're so informative. I really do. Trixie Lane. Yeah, that's against HIPAA. That's against HIPAA violations. Everybody knows that. She was with Toddy One Skip. That's the first thing that pops. Trixie Lane 00. Oh, she's new. Wait, no, she's not new. She's been on here. Never mind. She did a video exposing the Blanchards. Oh. Hang on. I'm about to subscribe to her because I need that info. Yeah. What's her name? The micro deletion they did have. And what I found interesting about that micro deletion was that it can cause feeding issues, right? So the whole claim that Gypsy Rose said, right? What? Susie, wait, what? Give me that info. But the whole claim that Gypsy Rose made about like her feeding tube being no good, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, she said like the feeding tube was not supposed to ever be there. It was illegitimately placed. I find that contradictory to the fact that people with that microdeletion disorder suffer from feeding issues. So it could have been some feeding issues. It could have been some seeing issues. It could have been some hearing issues along with that microdeletion. If you haven't seen my microdeletion video, I go into detail. No, I don't see the link. You might not be able to post links in here. Send it to my email. You might not be able to post links directly to this chat. Hold on. Just send it to my email. I want you guys to join my Discord too. Hold on. Unfiltered at gmail.com. Okay, there we go. Email me there, and I'm going to post my Discord while we wait on that, and we can finish listening to Fancy. See what
with Mike Stanfield and HBO, the truth about this case. Anything else is irrelevant. That's it. So talk about me all you want. Put out screenshots of half conversations all you want, because eventually I'm going to drop it all. Do you guys not understand that? I saved everything. Every conversation, every question, every screenshot, every comment in all the groups. Oh yeah, babies. I saved it all. So just save yourself some trouble. Admit that this is a smear campaign, a final hoorah against truth, because anything else is bullshit. Have a good one from the Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time. Bye, guys. Mwah.
I can't help but feel good. I can't help but feel fine.
Oh my God. Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and I have one more thing I need to bring up. So, by the way, it has been brought to my attention that Boker is now running around again. Here's the deal. Do you know what Boker said to me? Boker told me recently, first of all, she told me she wasn't involved in any of this. She's not involved in any of it. She doesn't want to be involved in any of it. And she's got a wonderful life now, and she would like to just continue to live that wonderful life that I know she's absolutely lying about. But hey, I don't care. Who cares? I don't care about her life, nor do I care about her. But now she's decided that she's going to now have a lawyer who says that I can no longer release these private emails between her and Nicholas. Wonder why that is.
Got it.
Could it be because you lied, sweetheart? Could it be because you didn't give all of them to me? Could it be because you've been part of all this shit the whole damn time? Could it be that you're one of Natasha's little friends now and went flipping over to her and to Christy Blanchard
Could
with
it
a
be?
laugh, despite the
Could it
fact
be?
that she came back
Oh,
to
it
me
could be.
to tell me that they tried to frame you for a bunch of shit?
Yeah.
By the way, timestamps don't lie. I know what you did or did not take out of my drive. Just so you know, I've never pushed the subject on, but don't come after me.
Here's the Discord, guys.
Because I will put out every fucking...
Oh, God. Jeez Louise, you stole my keys. Okay. We're going to play this video that Susie just sent in a video, I think. Was that you, Susie? Who just sent me a video? Who just sent me an email? Let me see. Who is this? Oh. Wait. Oh, that was you, random. Send me an email. Gotcha. Let's go.
Hey friends, so I'm working on a longer fancy video with some of the new information I've received, but I wanted to share something just real quick. So this comes from a 2019 Twitter post from a group that was doing a Justice for Nick movement at that time. In it, Fancy is talking to her team, and openly discusses towards the end the Nick infiltration group that I believe she is now trying to deny that she ever had. Let's take a listen, y'all.
I love each and every one of you, and I don't want to accuse any of you of anything. But I am going to repeat one last time. I do have a lawyer. I do have big people on this. And if you are fucking around with Natasha and you are giving her something, you will absolutely 100% be sued. Do you understand? I don't care if you're Tori. I will sue you. I don't care if you're Diana, Amanda, Diane, Lindsay, Lauren. Fuck, I don't care if you're Christy yourself. I will freaking sue the shit out of you. Do you guys understand? I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you. But if there's anyone who has even remotely made a mistake, you need to fess the hell up right now. I don't think she has anything either. I think she's on a fishing expedition. However, if there is someone who has done something, oh my God, you guys are going to love this. So, where Ken went into Michelle's group and posted that shit about me and everything. So Amy Lynn, who is one of the original moderators for Natasha that left and has been speaking out for me for a while now, she went in there and she defended me. But that's not what is funny. She has decided that what she's going to do is she has posted so many discussion posts, like actual discussion posts, like what about the bus pass that people are claiming about? What about Nick's da-da-da? What about his father? Was he in his life? And each of these different ones over and over and over again. So basically what she is essentially doing is burying his post so far down the fucking line, no one will ever even see it. Like, how fucking hilarious is that shit? Okay, so this is the chat that has pretty much everybody who has access to the Nick infiltration. And if you didn't hear me in Team by Proxy, I'm going to tell you this right now. If anybody has talked about a drive, if anybody has told her about the emails in the drive, if anybody has shown her any emails in the drive, I will sue the ever-loving fuck out of you. So I would not suggest doing it. I do have lawyers, and they will sue the crap out of you.
Yeah, I got
Do you
it.
understand? So if that is what you are doing, if that is what you are here for, you might as well exit the fucking door, because I will annihilate the shit out of you.
Wait.
Let's take a listen to that last part one more time.
Okay, so this is the chat that has pretty much everybody who has access to the Nick infiltration. And if you didn't have access to the Nick infiltration,
What do y'all think? So Fancy has been denying and saying that she absolutely did not send Don Boker to email Nick and try to get information. But what is a Nick infiltration group otherwise? What do y'all think?
A Nick infiltration group is insane. That's insane. I don't even know. Like, all hands on deck meeting. Yeah, that's crazy. Nick infiltration. Wow. Wow. Messy. Fancy's the reason Nick won't accept any letters from anyone. I wonder if he has visitors ever. Does he have visitors? I doubt he'd get anybody to get him to talk. I know somebody got him to talk a while back, but you have to have the Discord app, Shauna. You have to have the Discord app. Once you get the Discord app, you can put the link in. It'll bring you. Yeah. An infiltration is that something like a military group does? They infiltrate their target. Yikes. Yikes. No telling what goes on behind the scenes, guys, that the eyes can't see. It's scary. It's scary to think. And that's with all facets of life. There's so much shit that goes on that we don't know about. So many infiltrations. This is just what a mini, you know? Oh my goodness. You guys know, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was an earring on the ground. And I went to the bathroom. My whole foot hurts. And I stepped on it. Now, it was a sharp pain. So, like, when I lifted up my foot, the earring was hanging out the back of my foot. It was in there. So I pulled it out real quick. It didn't feel good. And I went and laid back down and fell asleep. It was in the middle of my sleep. I didn't even think about it. I just pulled it out. It hurts so bad. Like, now it's just sore, right? So when I looked at my foot, I knew I stepped on something because it was just a sharp, sharp pain, right? I knew I stepped on something hard, sharp. I thought it felt like glass tearing through my foot. Looked, saw the earring. It had like a little thing on it dangling. So it was like dangling from my foot. And it hurt. It wasn't like on the surface. It was in there, lodged in there. It hurts. Who knows if there are men in prison with him that are on the Blanchard side. And there's no telling what is going on in the prison where he's at. We haven't really had. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We haven't had much. We haven't had much conversation with him, Nick, at all. Sorry, guys. My mic fell. Speaking of infiltration, what's going on with these drones? I don't know. Like, I have no idea what's going on with those drones. But, like, I do feel like whatever's going on with those drones, somebody knows and they're not saying it. Right? The government may know and they're not saying anything. Because it's not in their best interest to say anything. I don't think it's another country. I don't think it's a threat from another country like trying to harm us. But I also think they know exactly what it is. There's no way that that's going on and nobody knows. Does it cost any money? No, it's free. It's an agenda. Yeah. Now they're talking about, now there was two plane crashes, one today, one yesterday. And all Donald Trump is worried about is making federal employees remove pronouns from their email signatures and all kinds of shit. And he basically said the reason why these planes are crashing is because of diversity in hiring techniques. That's what he had to say when asked about the plane crashes. It's diversity's fault. When asked about the plane crashes, you know what he said? He said, I think a reporter asked him if he's going to go, pay his respects or go to the site. He said, what do you want me to do? Go swimming? Because the plane crashed over water. Like, what the hell? He's sick. He's sick. He's sick, y'all. He's sick. He's firing everybody from the FBI that had something to do with arresting or investigating the January 6th or prosecuting the January 6th protesters. I can go on and 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 on. It's bad. It's real bad, y'all. But hopefully someone will speak up. Hopefully someone in Congress will stand up. No one's standing up, and it's sad. Like, what do we have Congress people for? I don't know what I'm saying that for, because my congressperson agrees with everything Trump's doing. But what do most prudent states have Congress people for? You know? I don't get it. Y'all are going to just idly... Yep, that's right. That's right, Random. Y'all are just going to idly sit by and let him do this to the country and not say anything, and not hold any type of meeting, and not shut the country down, and not do anything to show him that he has checks and balances on his power. Nope. Are y'all crazy? Everybody's afraid. Congress, the Supreme Court, everybody's afraid of him. Yes, me too. Random. I want to leave the country as well, but I'm like, it's such a shit show. Like, you want to leave the country. You want to think about, yes, that's true. I went to get a sandwich from the sandwich shop today. I'm in a red state as well. I went to get a sandwich from a sandwich shop today, and this man had his MAGA hat on, just proud as day. I'm like, there's no way you could still be wearing that. There's no way you could still be wearing that. Like, when will you realize? When will you admit you made a mistake? You can't. Your pride is too heavy. Deep down, they know they fucked up. Trust me. Deep down, they do not. The prudent people, the people that actually believe in democracy, they know they fucked up. Right? And the few people who are left that understand that, right, in these areas, that want to get away from these areas, only thing we see on the news is planes falling out of the sky. So it's like, what am I trapped? Is like, what's going on? Yeah, Random. I feel like that's one of the most dangerous things about a Trump presidency, is that he emboldens regular Americans, lower middle class Americans, or whomever, to act like him and be emboldened by him and go out on a limb and treat people as if they're less than because of what he does. It creates a shockwave throughout the nation. It's not like it's just him doing this shit, right? It's everyone who feels like him treating this shit. Yeah, you're right, Mummy. Like, it's just very bad. And the people who know. Like, we already know, and we're just sitting here. It's like everybody's sitting here waiting for someone to speak up, for someone to stop this. And nobody will yet. I don't know. It's like, Congress, what are y'all doing? Aren't you working for the people? The president has declared he doesn't work for the people. He works for himself. So who do we have left? Who do we have left? Congress? When half of Congress is riding his coattails? Now let me get this straight. Some members of Congress do not agree with President Trump, like Donald Trump. They do not agree with him. They don't. Most members of Congress on the Republican side do agree with him, but some members of Congress do not agree with his ass on his side, on the Republican side. They're like, we don't go for that shit. Oh my God, I finally caught you live. This is so exciting. Hi, Jamie and Chris. Ooh, that bat pizza looks delicioso. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, it's 12:43 here. I can't order a pizza. You just made me hungry. You just made me think about pizza. I wish I had one of those little Totino's ones in my oven. Ooh. I'm Brown in Texas. I already have a plan in place with my own father for our safety. It's like the old days when we can't even speak Spanish in public. Yeah, it's 1:40 here, and I'm hungry too. Look at that pizza with those bat pepperonis. Yeah, it's bad. Like, honestly, I don't understand what targeting Hispanic people has to do with like anything. Honestly, I really don't. We will, if he does what he's trying to do, right? It's just an ethnic thing, right? If he does what he's trying to do with deporting all these people, America will suffer. Those people work. Who's going to take that work? They're taking our jobs is crazy because it's just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. The people saying they're taking our jobs don't even have jobs. I'm so confused. But you work here and they work there. Production is going to suffer in America. Production is going to suffer in America. Just like that. And then you're talking about putting people on Guantanamo Bay. 30,000 people on a facility on Guantanamo Bay. Cuba's already partially blocked that, but where the fuck are you going to put 30,000 people on Guantanamo Bay? And then what happens when there's too many people? What happens when they revolt against y'all? What happens then? Genocide. I mean, we've seen this one before. We have. Sadly. Sadly. I mean, Trump has a lot of built up anger and hate. He truly thinks that when that attempt happened on him, he thinks that was everybody, like the Democratic Party, that was everybody against him doing that. Instead of the one individual that did it. He blames people that he calls his enemies for it. Right? It's just a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Truth be told, it truly is. Honestly, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it all feels very, very scary. You're trying to take, they're so against diversity. They're so against diversity. It's scary. And it shows with the mass deportations the racial profiling of people they think are Hispanic that may not have been born here, right? Those people were born here. So you're going to profile them in their own country? The children who were born here, the American citizens, children who were born here, diversity is an issue for that administration. Everything they blame the plane crash on DEI. They blame eggs on DEI. They blame everything on diversity, and then now they're removing or doing mass deportations. They're breaking down on trans rights, all of that, the inclusion, the diversity, what makes, I guess you could say, what makes America America, our differences that unite us. They don't want that. So after all your deportations, and after you try, but you will not, to make the trans people feel like they don't exist, who's next? Who's next? Who is next? After you feel like you've done away with the trans people, and after you've done away with all of the after you've done away with all of the people that don't fit your standards, and deported those people. When a army helicopter crashes into the side of a plane and you say it's because of diversity, I know you've lost your mind. I know you've officially you're not there. You're not. And the fact that adults sit around and let you run that office like that is deplorable. The fact that adults sit around and let you run that office like that is deplorable. I don't know. Trump, I feel like he wants to go down in history. And that's why he's doing all this stuff, to stir some shit up. But guess what? It's not a good. Lord help our trans brothers and sisters getting safe healthcare. I don't know what trans people did to Donald Trump. I really don't know what the trans community did to Donald Trump. I don't know, y'all. Apparently, they are like on the top, right? They are like on the top of the thing. No. Illegal immigrants, and then trans people. And then, you'll start to rank it from there, right? What did trans people do to Donald Trump? First, he declares only two genders. Then he makes the federal employees remove their pronouns from their bio. Then, like, honestly, if it's a cisgender female and she has she, her in her pronouns, she has to remove that too. Like, you just don't give a damn. You think pronouns mean someone's transgender? You just don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. Honestly, it irritates you so much. You said the trans people can't be in the military. They can't exist. They can't do that. Like, what the hell can they do? They experience enough hell and degradation on a daily basis. They don't need it from their country too. Trust me. They get enough beating on. They get enough They get enough turmoil. They get enough hell in their everyday life. That's why they're the most susceptible, in my opinion, to unalive themselves. And that's his goal. Let them take themselves out. Let us make them feel like they don't matter. So they'll take themselves out. We won't have to do anything. Right? He said that you can, if you want to start your transition surgery, you have to be 19, or your transition process. I don't even know what that means. I don't even think it's a surgery. I think it's like some type of saying, I don't even know what he's trying to do. But why 19? What point are you trying to make? We don't really give a damn, okay? You know, of course they've passed laws. Here where I am, you have to be a female. You have to have a vagina to go in the females, the women's restroom, and you have to have a penis to go in the male's restroom. But my thing is, who's at the door watching? Who's at the door watching? If a trans man with a beard and a chiseled body walks into the women's restroom, there will be a problem. There will be a huge problem if a trans female with breasts and long hair and makeup walks into the men's bathroom. There will be a huge problem. And then again, maybe that's what the administration wants. Those problems to be solved right then and there in those controversy moments. I don't know. I'm just ratiocinating here. Maybe they want the bigots to do the work for them, like they did on January 6th. Maybe that's what the administration is looking for, right? Hormones. Okay, yeah, hormones. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. Inflame them enough. Who's at the door checking? Who's at the door checking? Is there going to be somebody from the federal government that says, I got to make sure you got what you need to come in here? No way. You cannot enforce that. To hell with it. You can't enforce it. Right? I had a friend in college. Her name was Jenny. Met her as Jenny. All of this. And she was transgender, right? Met her as Jenny, so it was always Jenny. It was always, and it was so much so that she was a female to me, a girl, a woman to me, that we didn't even question it. We didn't even think twice about it. It was just it was, you say you're this, you're that. It wasn't a huge thing to bring to Congress and to fight over. It was just it. And when we went to the bathroom, why on earth would I expect her to go into the other bathroom? This is the person that I'm seeing. This is the person that I know, right? So, she always would ride her skateboard, things like that. And one day she fell. And when she fell, there was this guy who was pointing, like, I don't really remember what he said. Something very, very derogatory. And that skateboard, she said that skateboard held so much negative connotations to her. She didn't want it anymore. She was like, you can have this skateboard, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't even ride that skateboard anymore after that incident. It holds so much negative connotations for me. Because every time I see that skateboard, I see when I fell and when that guy ridiculed me, yada, 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 yada. Yeah. I don't care. The only people that care about this are people that are old. Only old people care about this. Only old people care about this for the most part. I feel like the Black community has a really big issue with gay men and trans people, right? Lesbians and bisexual women get a pass, but the Black community has an issue with gay men. They have an issue with the trans community. But other than that, I feel like it's something that is old. Like older people have an issue with this. Younger people don't have an issue with this. We're not sitting around storming the Capitol, talking in Congress about something like this. It doesn't make sense. It's not important. We need health care. We need affordable schools. We need affordable books. We need to thrive in the country. Who gives a damn? Why is your administration leading on that? I feel like the fact that your administration's leading on that lets us know you're not going to do a damn for the people. The people are sitting here waiting like, we need help. We need money in our pocket. We need more jobs. We need this. We've told you everything we needed. And you come out on day one and attack trans people. What is that going to do for the whole of America when trans people make up less than 2% of America? How is that a threat to this country, this at all? It's not. It's not. He doesn't like trans people. I don't know what he experienced in his past with someone trans, but he has a personal vendetta against them because of something that happened. I don't know. And it's depressing. It's upsetting. It's pandering to a base, Like, what the hell do you expect? He's already said how he feels about the Black jobs and he truly feels that Black people deserve to have certain jobs. And when Black people or minorities, let's just put it that way, minorities, I'm going to say women, Blacks, Hispanics, Asians, whatever the case may be, when they have those jobs, then if they have a job that is of a certain prestige, right? Let me give you a couple of examples. Military leader, politician, sergeant, police, high-ranking police officer, FBI agent. When they have those high-ranking jobs, college professor, lawyer, congresswoman, congressman, then they are not qualified. We're automatically unqualified for certain jobs because of how we look. Automatically. And if we get the job, if we're lucky enough to get the job, we will have millions of people saying we don't deserve it because of how we look. Not considering qualifications, anything like that. They will yell out DEI, which means you're a minority and you shouldn't have that job. Another race should have that job. It's bad. It's very bad, right? So what exactly is everybody else supposed to do? Cater to you? That's not going to happen, right? And that just came squirting out. I feel like people need to understand that it is bad, right? And everybody on TikTok, all the little news reporters I follow on TikTok, they're just coming in with their breaking news hour after hour, hour on the hour with the breaking news, but we don't see what the inside of Congress looks like. We don't see who are the people fighting for us? Yes, it most definitely did, Mummy. It most definitely did. That is a risk. It is a risk. Okay? And that's why I'm saying we're all sitting here and we're like, okay, it's getting a little bit too out of control now. We thought we were going to let him play and get his I'm back in office moment, but it's getting like scary. What president scares, frightens his citizens and does not give a damn? Does it gleefully, frightens. Americans are frightened. of their own president. We are frightened of our own president. If that doesn't tell you about that connotation that you're talking about, mommy, then that should tell you we are scared, right? Of what's to come. The whole TikTok thing was fishy. Y'all don't understand how upset I was. It was so fishy what went on with TikTok. I don't want to get my channel cut off of YouTube because this is fishy, okay? TikTok went down because we needed to reach a deal because of our data, some lie, some bullshit, right? So it went down and then it came back up, right? Things were different for me. I follow like people that talk about breaking news. They're usually not Trump supporters. They're usually like people who cover breaking news and like all the crazy stuff that's going on with Donald Trump's inauguration because it was like the 20th. After about a day or so, all I was seeing on my For You page was Donald Trump fan pages, Barron Trump fan pages, Ivanka Trump fan pages. I was seeing MAGA supporters fan pages. I was not seeing any of those people I used to follow. It was all Donald Trump propaganda I was seeing. It was all Barron Trump, Donald Trump, Ivanka. I didn't even know he had all these children. And I'm seeing them and they're like, what a hero. And like everyone in the comments is his fans. And I'm like, this is not my group. This isn't my audience. What happened? It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Why did it go down? And then when it came back up, everything on my end, what I usually would see was different. And I kept scrolling to make sure. I'm like, maybe that was just an odd one. No. Barron Trump, he's the next president. Donald Trump, he's our president. All of that on my For You page. And I'm like, this is not my content creators. I might have, some comedy. I do have politics, but it's not this type of politics. It has changed. It's changed back. Somebody told me to block Facebook, Meta, told me to block Instagram, and I blocked some of those Trump pages, and I went and followed a bunch of Democrat pages, and it changed back. It's changing back. I still might get one or two, but I had to block them. I had to block all those pages. I got scared. I started panicking in my house. So and I just started blocking them all. I'm like, block, 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 and then I started friending more like Democrat pages so I could get like that news. So it's semi-normal. But how come that happened? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? I would think that I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. But why did that happen after it came back up? That's not right. It's not right. And it wasn't just like covering the news, right? It wasn't like Donald Trump signed an executive order today. It was fan pages. It's creepy. Yes. And then it was so scary because when it went down, when TikTok went down, they were like, we're trying to reach a deal with President Trump. And I'm like, what is this? Like, we were distraught because we love TikTok, right? We love our TikTok. We have friends on there. We have people that we met from TikTok that we don't even know where they're going to be now. Creators we follow, all of this. And we're just like, they really took it from us. We're already very upset. We're already very upset at the administration, right? And we're already very upset at both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, for taking this and lying about it, right? So that comes up and we're like, huh? And then the next day it says, TikTok has been restored in America. We're going to reach a deal. Thanks, President Trump. And I'm looking at my phone like, did he say in order for it to stay, it had to have his name on it? Did he? I know he was at that round table like, yeah, it can stay, but put my name in the little message. That's all I want. That's it. Get it done. They're going to love me for this. You're the one who introduced the bill to ban it in the first place. So how the hell can you ban something that you say? How the hell can you save something that you kicked up all this shit with TikTok? Congress passed it. Biden signed it, but you signed it the first time. You kicked up all that bullshit with TikTok. And you're going to come in and say, President Trump started it in 2020. Like, what? Stop playing in our faces. Like, we can read. Maybe some of the people that voted for him can't read, but we can read. And we know, right? We're on to you. Like, it's going to be a long 4 years. Tell me why the month of January has felt 17 months long. How many breaking news headlines? The month of January has felt like 3 years. It is just now February. Starting off with the attack in New Orleans, which was terrible. It hit close to home for me. All the way, just horrible. Horrible. Things happening every day. It's like, it's as if God is telling us, this is not what I want for y'all. Yeah, people are loving Trump because of his. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you again, Random. Make sure you like and subscribe. People are loving Trump because he saved TikTok. I mean, the people who love him. Damn it. Honestly, there's somebody who I know who made $11,000 on TikTok last night, and they wanted to take that away. A Black creator, he made $11,000 on TikTok last night in one day, and they wanted to take that away. So if he loves Trump, hey, I disagree with his views, but for saving his livelihood for the time being, even though it was something that he enacted to take away in the first place, I can't get mad at him for being in support of that. But like, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Someone needs to stand up. Nobody in Congress has a backbone. Seriously. Like, you mean to tell me you can call a meeting at work? You can call a meeting at any job you work on, but you can't call a meeting in Congress with the president or say, do something. You can't shut it down. Just shut the government. Just shut it down. I don't care. Like, at this point, it's going to affect people, but people need to understand that you're not playing around. Shut that shit down. Honestly. Like, why y'all have your tails tucked between your legs? Speak up. That's what you were hired to do. Honestly, like, what's going on with our country, guys? Speak up. Say something. Do something. Let it be known that you aren't playing around. But it seems like every time someone says, hey, no, we don't want you to do that. Like Canada, Mexico, Greenland, China, who else? We're arguing with a lot of people. We're in a spats with a lot of people right now. But every time Trump says we're not going for that, and the other country will say, well, we're not going for that either, they cave. Like, the other country caves really quickly. You know? It's bad. Now, Canada in this tariff thing, I don't really know what's going on with that, but I feel like it's going to be a big problem when people start having to pay all this money for stuff and losing electricity. But the thing is, you need somebody who's not going to back down, not going to be afraid of the repercussions, because there will be repercussions for going against them. There will be repercussions for going against them. And if you're afraid of those, don't even try, you know? There are going to be repercussions. You just need to be ready for that. You might lose your job. You might go to jail. Who knows? You know? January 2025 was a hell of a month, guys. Hell of a month. But guys, I'm about to get off here. I've been live every day this week. Every day this month. It's been a good month. I completed my goal of going live every day this month. So I will be going live, but it won't be every day next month. Okay. We'll just see how it goes. At least once a week, maybe twice a week. I'm going to come live with you guys, but I'm going to definitely get videos out, focus on video creation. It's been really good. I want everyone to join the Discord so we can get together, connect. I'm all about connections, guys. I'm about to hop in a hot bath. I have this wonderful smelling candle. Smell it. It smells so good. It has one of those like wooden wicks in it. And it's going to be a good night, guys. Don't try to worry too much about what's going on in the world. Just put your phone down for a moment, take a hot bath, do something to relax your soul, your mind, your body, and your spirit, because these things are going to go on around us. These things are going to go on around us no matter what we do. They're going to persist. They're going to persist, right? We just have to have faith in humanity. I don't have much, but we have to have faith in humanity that somebody is going to stand up and say, this is not right, right? It always does happen at some point. We always do have someone who fights back against injustice, right? So just relax. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Love you guys.